Welcome back to Advent of Code in 25 different languages, or 12 different languages as it turns out. I keep forgetting. I have some other stuff planned for later in the month, but it's going to be very different. I'm actually going to maybe promote it a little bit and do something more serious, because these videos are pretty low effort and I mostly want to just do some programming and get used to talking about it. So that's what these videos are about, but I'll be doing something else after day 12, but probably not every single day. It'll probably be more high effort videos on a slower release schedule. We'll see. But today is day 4. And for day 4, we are going to choose a language. So just like every other day, we're going to shuffle it. These are the languages we have left right here. Just making sure there's no repeats in there. That is correct. And we're getting the 0th C#. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's do a little bit of C#. So we'll go into the nice Vim, go into here, go into day 4. We need .NET. What is it? It's like SDK. There's something like this. Maybe a no package set. Yeah, there we go. So we'll do .NET 10, sure. I think that's a new one. This is a dash. And there we go. Now we have .NET. Can you just .NET run a single file? Let's see. So we can just do part 1. Well, let's go in here. We'll have part1.cs, part2.cs, and we will have input and test inputs. Create all of those. Go into part 1. We'll have system dot. It's like console. I'm totally forgetting. C# hello world. It is system.console.writeLine. Hello world. This language does have semicolons. And let's see if we can .NET run this. Yes, we can. It takes like 50 years to actually run. It doesn't create any junk files though, and it does actually just run a thing. Okay, excellent. And you don't need all of this public class crap. You literally just don't need that. You can use C# effectively as a scripting language in a nice way. And I'm pretty sure you can even have. I'm not sure you can have a main outside of a class though. Let's see if I can find a better. Yeah, so that's that. Using variables. So your whole program can just be a single scope in this, and I think it just runs like a script, if I understand correctly. Like we can just write another line in here and say, world hello, and if we do that, run it, and yeah, it just executes like a script, and we can have variables in here. I think this just works for everything. So that makes C# pretty easy actually, because we don't need like a huge super project structure thing going on. Honestly, I think the only language that we have that you definitely have to do that, well, Java you used to, now you don't after JDK 25, but definitely PHP maybe, although it's a scripting language, you can probably run one file. And then, I don't know, Kotlin maybe? No, I think you can run a single file in Kotlin. Yeah, I'm not sure that we have one. Maybe, does Haskell compile? Yeah, it does if you use the Glasgow compiler. Yeah, okay. So I think we're good on most languages. Mojo actually is probably the one. Maybe this doesn't support a single file compile, but it is making this language, so probably it does. It's LLVM guy. LLVM guy makes that language. Let's go into our problem. So we have day 4, printing department. You ride the escalator down to the printing department. They're clearly getting ready for Christmas. They have lots of large rolls of paper everywhere, and there's even a massive printer in the corner to handle the really big print jobs. Decorating here will be easy. They can make their own decorations. What you really need is a way to get further into the North Pole base while the elevators are offline. Actually, maybe we can help with that, one of the elves replies with when you ask for help. We're pretty sure there's a cafeteria on the other side of the back wall. If we could break through the wall, you'd be able to keep moving. It's too bad all of our forklifts are so busy moving these big rolls of paper around. If you can optimize the work of the forklifts are doing, maybe they would have time to spare to break through the wall. The rolls of paper, @symbols, are arranged on a large grid. The elves even have a helpful diagram, you're puzzling, but indicating where everything is located. For example, okay. And that is our test input. The forklift can only access a roll of paper if there are fewer than 4 rolls of paper in the 8 adjacent positions. If you can figure out which rolls of paper the forklifts can access, they'll spend less time looking and more time breaking down the wall to the cafeteria. You can figure out which rolls of paper. Okay. Can access if there are fewer than 4 rolls of paper in the 8 adjacent positions. There are 13 rolls of paper that can be accessed. So you can only access one if there are fewer than 4 rolls of paper in the 8 adjacent positions. Okay. So we're gonna want an adjacency matrix for this. Let's see. Is there like a simple way to do this? So okay, so that's how you get like a 2D array. Adding and removing edges, traversing the graph. This isn't really what we want. Shut up. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is kind of what we want. But I mean, this is for like graphs, so I don't really want that. I don't want an adjacency matrix for a weighted graph. I want an adjacency matrix that's just like like what I want is like this. I just want like 0, like -1, 0, 1. I guess I should do it like this. I don't remember exactly how to do this. That's all. I think you just have 2 lists that are -1, 0, 1, and then you iterate it like two-dimensionally, and you just go through and you get all of the pairs. But you just need a little thing to look at every single. I mean, you can also just do it as a for loop range, like 4, -1, 0, 1, or whatever. Yeah. If you get my meaning. Let's go for C# open read data from file. Read text from a file. How bad is it? Okay. Let's do that. So try using, and I could just get rid of this. Stream reader equals new test input. Text equals reader.read to end. I guess the using is good for a scope like this, right? And why not try it now? Console.write line text. Do I need a catch? that simple. Yeah. If I get rid of using, yeah, it still works. I mean, this is nice though, because this assumably means that it's closed at the end of the scope or something. Oh, then text is also invalid at the end of the scope. Yeah, screw this. Surely we don't need that. Great. So now we have the text. So now we can split. So C# string methods. String class. Okay. Let's see. Methods. Compare as their splits. Or like lines. No, we do just split on. So we'll say text.split on \n. And this returns what does it return? So lines equals that. Can we for each them? Yes. For each line in lines. And apparently they use like epic whatchamacallit indents everywhere. Kind of sick. I respect it. Let's do console.write line. Why does it... Okay, type and identifier are both required in a for each statement. So I have to say for string line in lines. The name lines does not exist in the current context. String does not contain a definition for split, and no accessible extensions method split accessing a first argument of type string could be found. Oh, is this a string instead of a character literal? That's really stupid. Do I have to pass a string split options? None. No, this doesn't exist in this context. String separators to string split up. Really, what is show result? What is show? Okay, I'm a bit confused. Yeah, what? Oh, it's capital S split. It's this is a C# ism, of course. Classic. Yes. So still upset about. Of course, it's still upset about lines not existing. Oh, because I didn't type lines. Let's see. I believe it should be that. Yeah, okay. So lines is that, then for each string line in lines, we do this, and then we loop over all the characters. So can we do that for each... did I normally put a space here? I think so. for each car C in line, console.write line. Well, I guess, okay, what I should actually do is I should construct the 2D array, right? Well, I guess lines is the 2D array when you think about it. Right, like if well, let's just comment this for now. If I console.write line aligns at 5 at 2, that should, forgot semicolons, but 5 hours debugging. Yeah, okay, cool. That works exactly how you'd want it to. So instead of lines, well, yeah, it's fine. We can leave it as lines because that's really what it is. So for each, we're going to still loop over each car C in line. But really we want to loop over the indices, so I should actually do more of like a standard for loop. C# for loop, or let's do the C# learn X and Y. That's always the the right move. Let's find loops. So they have while loop, they also have a do while loop, of course, and they have the C for loop. Okay, exactly like C. We have int I equals 0, and honestly we want to kind of loop this way for this too. So let's do for int I int k, right? Classic loop, the standard I less than lines dot length. I think that's how you do it. Lines at I dot length. I plus plus, K plus plus. Console.write lines of I of K, and console.write line. Are you using a directive or assembly reference? No, I'm just trying to get the length of a string. That's a pretty bad error message. Let's see, is it an element that you access? The question is it an element or is it called size? Watch it be called len, even though everything else in the language is overly explicit. Oh, it's capital L length. Of course. Of course it is. How could I have missed that? Okay. But lovely, we now have an excellent loop set. And we're going to loop once again. So we're just going to do more loops because that's how you actually solve this. Maybe I'll write it as a function though. That could be kind of fun. So let's declare a function up here. Can you have like a function in C#? Local functions. You can have like lambda local functions. Yeah, so private static returns a bool check roll or whatever. So what we actually want to do is we want to say if lines at ik is equivalent to at console.write line or write, let's just write an at. Right, that's fine. So the modifier private is not valid for this item. End of file expected, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what are we? Private static bool function. Maybe it should be public, or maybe it should just be static. No. Yeah, there's no such thing here. C# in single file script mode. You are still writing a real C# program. I understand. Can you declare a function? Yes. Scales to real applications, sure. Referencing NuGet packages, sure. Sure. Probably there's a way for me to like declare a lambda or something. Let's see, C# lambda. Lambda expressions. So can I say statement lambdas, action string, so action bool check roll equals lines map to this body true or something. Okay, let's try this. Action equals nothing maps to console.write line. Then can I call line somewhere? Yeah. Equals line. So here I can just write line, right? But that doesn't work. This syntax just doesn't function in this single line mode, I suppose. But this still does work, right? Oh. What? What did I do? Have I just been doing something completely random? What line is this? 8:30. Oh, what the hell is that? Come on. Oh, that was that whole time. Okay, let's try a function again. Static bool get, what was it? Here, I'll just bring this back. Yeah, check roll. Okay, public is not valid. How about just that? Check roll is declared but never used. Okay. That's like a lot better. I don't know why I was not actually reading the error message. That's what I get for not trying to like install an LSP for this though. All right. Let's move on. So we are going to check roll lines. So it's going to take a string array lines. It's going to take an int call and an int row. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. And this is going to loop over, so for int I equals -1, I less than 2 or less than equal to 1, I plus plus. Why did I double that? We're going to do this, and we're going to have an int count, which is initialized to 0. And then in here, we're going to have the same thing on k. So we could probably like try something this, but honestly, I don't care. Let's do it how I would do it. So we are going to do if. So if lines of I, k of call minus I, row minus k equals a roll, and let me double check the problem. There are fewer than 4 rolls. Okay. So if it's a roll, then count plus plus. And then return count, let's see, C# ternary. Yeah, it's exactly what I think it is. So count less than 4, true, else false. Or why do we even need that? You can just return count less than 4 as a Boolean expression. And a semicolon was expected somewhere. Where? Line 4, line 6. Oh, I don't know why I put commas in here. That's why the syntax looked weird. Okay, index was outside the bounds of the array. So how about we try this? Can we do it like this? So try this. Catch, continue, like that. Yes, we can. Okay. So do you just count them? How many rolls of paper can be accessed? So we're gonna have int sum equals 0, and if this, we sum plus plus. Oh, and then we print sum. dot right line sum. 71. That is not 13. Okay, I'm not sure how to debug this, but I'm sure I'm just doing something really dumb, right? I do have the right thing in test input, right? Yeah, I haven't even gotten my puzzle input yet. Let's get that. So why is it so? Why is it so? Does that work? Yeah. So we obviously are checking a roll decently nicely, but obviously not nicely, right? Maybe it's just because columns and rows is wrong or something like that. I can't imagine this would change anything. No, it literally doesn't matter. Or like this minus k, this minus I. It will never change the answer. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, which is why I didn't care to think about it. So let's print count. Let's write x, y count. Oh, whoops. Column row count. Really? What is the C# right line format? What? Okay, so you write it as a string interpolated like that with a $sign in front. Okay. Classic. And this is writing a whole line, right? Yes. So let's see, starting from from 0 to, we have 1, which is already wrong. Okay. What am I not doing apparently? Oh. Well, that explains it. 4. So now we have 4 total, which is wrong. So this one has 1, 2, 3. 0, 2, 4. So why is this 4? Is it counting itself? Oh, it's not skipping over. Yep. If equals 0, 0, continue. $13. Okay, wonderful. And I'm going to stop printing as much, but we are going to switch this for real inputs and go, and we get 1389. I can't imagine this is wrong. Awesome. On to part 2. Now the elves just need help accessing as much of the paper as they can. Once a roll of paper can be accessed by a forklift, it can be removed. Once a roll of paper is removed, the forklifts might be able to access more rolls of paper, which they might also be able to remove. How many total rolls of paper could the elves remove if they keep repeating this process? Starting with the same example as above, here is one way you could remove as many rolls of paper as possible, using the highlighted ats to indicate that a roll of paper is about to be removed, and using X to indicate that a roll of paper was just removed. Okay, remove 13 rolls of paper, remove 12 rolls of paper, 7 rolls of paper, remove 5, remove 2, remove 1, remove 1, remove 1, remove 1. Stop once no more rolls of paper are accessible. In this example, a total of 43 can be removed. How many rolls of paper in total can be removed by the elves and their forklifts? Okay, I'm going to do the really stupid solution real fast, which is we just repeat it over and over again until we remove every single paper. So, yeah. And every time we're just going to count how many we removed and add it to a sum. So we are going to have a do while, in fact. So do this while sum greater than 0. There might be a more efficient way to do this, but it doesn't matter. So do this while that, and oh wait, shoot, I'm still in part 1. 1 second. We will do this soon. First we'll write this, make sure this still runs. It does. Remove test, and we are going to write this as day 4/part2.cs. Bang. Awesome, and we are going to go into part 2, and then we're going to do this. So things I did, I changed this to test input, and then I put a do while around this. Awesome, and we're going to have a more super sum, so we're going to have int sum in there, and then we're going to have int total equals 0 out here, and we're just going to print total. And in terms of this, we're going to sum plus plus the sum, and yeah, and then at the end, before we go out of this, we're going to total plus equals sum, and we're going to do that while sum is greater than 0, always. Let's just double check the syntax on a do while, so C# do while loop. The do statement. All right, it is exactly like that. I will put it on the same line like they had it like there. And it failed because it expected a semicolon there. Spent 3 hours debugging. The name sum does not exist in the current context. So we need int sum, and then sum equals 0 every time in there. Okay, that created an infinite loop. Really? Let's write the sum every time. It's 13 every time. Oh, because I'm not actually removing them, right? So every time that you, here where you would return, if, so let's do bool result equals count less than 4, and then if results, and can we modify, is this passed by like is this mutatable? That's a good question. I mean, in C, obviously, yes, it would be because it's pointing to some memory, but let's see how C# handles this. So if results, then lines at I at column row equals character not at, I forget what is the rest of it filled with? Dots. Okay. This cannot be assigned to, it is read only. Okay. C# get mutable copy of a list in function. A mutable list. So no, I don't want list, I want array. That's a list. How do I modify? Okay, how about we just do it in the outside? So instead of this, how about this? Out here, we'll say if checked roll, sum plus plus, and lines at I, k equals dot. Can we do it from out there? No. Strings dot this int cannot be assigned to, it is read only. C# write to array mutable. The immutable array class. I understand there's an immutable array. I know, I'm not declaring an immutable array. I'm not declaring a list either. I don't want a list. C# array type. Okay, this is the array reference type. All values are 0, all values are nil. Yes, I understand all of this. Where is just like assigning to an array? I understand. Jagged arrays? None of this is what I care about. Implicitly typed arrays. Multiple variables of the same type. You can declare an array by specifying the type of elements. If you want an array to store elements of any type, you can specify object as its type. The unified type system of C#, all types predefined by the user, blah blah blah. Reference types and value types inherit indirectly from object. An array is a reference type, so the array can be a nullable reference type. The element types shows how different syntax used to declare the nullability of the array or elements. I understand. Mutate. Mutable. Bro, this is important information. Where is it? Array mutability. What? And this is called a mutable array. I mean, the question is, so sure, this isn't true right here, but what about like lines at 1 1 equals a. Like, can I do that? No. Oh, it's because it's a string and strings are immutable. Okay. No, that actually makes sense. Yeah, I don't like this. Convert string into C# string to mutable array of cars. Public string. You really want is not string mutability, but rather a reference mechanic by which multiple such references are kept synchronized. No, I don't want that. I literally just want to change the bytes in the string. It's that easy. You need an unsafe block? Man. Is it because strings aren't... String builder. Okay, maybe I want to... Okay, how about this? Text.split this dot two car array. Oh, this isn't a real thing. This is naive method. Where's like the actual... Where's like the language way to do this? I mean, sure, okay. So this is car array text dot split on new line dot select c lambda c dot to array. I don't think that works. Yeah, this doesn't actually convert anything. Okay, I think I want string builder though. This sounds right. Okay, yeah. How do I get an entire array of these though? And also these you can append to and stuff, but can you not? Can you mutate individual characters? This still doesn't. Oh. 2 car array. Okay. Dot 2 car array. So dot, is there a way to like C# map function or method or whatever on array? Dot select, yeah, that's what we want. So dot select s dot 2 car array, like that, dot to array. And then on line 32, we can't convert this because this needs to accept a car thing. 43. Yes, okay. A little bit goofy, but we got through it in the end. Nice. No, you need parentheses for these. I'm just trying to shorten the code for no reason. But let's try it on the real input now. It still returns 43, right? Yes. I didn't change anything. I don't know why it wouldn't. 9,000, exactly. That is kind of a magical number. And that's the right answer. Excellent. Well, that was pretty easy. C#, as always, very nice language. Actually functions. I love that you don't have to use classes in it anymore. Single file mode runs perfectly fine as a script, and it feels really nice just running on .NET IR in a scripting sense. As far as the input, as far as the problem, I'm sure there's a few things that could be improved, maybe, but pretty simple, to be honest. This is somewhat a naive solution. Like, there might be a faster solution. Let's time it real quick. Well, let's see. We should probably build it then. And it did actually not make anything. It created a DLL. Okay. Well, this is not gonna. This is gonna be a fairly naive timing, but you can see it did complete in about fish. Oh, okay, yeah, because it's fish shell. Yeah, about 114 milliseconds, which is fine. Not as good. I built the Odin solution from yesterday, and it ran in like 200 microseconds. A lot better, but that's to be expected. And this is obviously a different problem, but it is on another order of magnitude slower than systems level programming languages in the scripting mode. I think if you actually run it as a big C# project, compiled to IR, etc., then it's usable, right? So that's fairly reasonable. In terms of other things, I don't know. That's kind of it. But I don't mind having a shorter thing. That honestly is great that I didn't take forever. So there we go. All right. See you guys tomorrow.